Oh, Daro was first. I'm not sure how it shows for you guys, but she was kind of slacking off, getting third and fourth a few times. Yeah, so I was going to do just play this interview. There really isn't much of an update going on here, although the father here, he says a couple of things that some of us have said as one of the possible speculations. When we originally thought that she was abducted after jogging, which it seems like we're back to that again, this was one of them, that she knew the person. The other night when somebody asked me, I said, yeah, maybe she was running and somebody who knew her pulled her over, and that's kind of what, I mean, didn't pull her over, but stopped and maybe said, hey, you want to go do something? And, you know, maybe that led to something. That sort of seems like what the dad's thinking now. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so I am here, everybody. That's not just a bot voice making noises. Okay? It's not bot 2000. Hello. Hey, look at that. There's Vic. Haven't seen Vic in a couple nights. Apparently Vic has a life, unlike me. Yeah. All right. Well, I did hit 18,000. I'm expecting it to drop below 18,000 here in a minute, just based on how it seems like these lives go sometimes. You get people come on and go, oh, I got to get off of there. So it might go down to $17.99, but rest assured, it won't be like that for long. All right. So let's just get started on this interview here, and then maybe we could talk about what he's saying. And I hope people don't judge in the middle of the interview, because this is really just the raw footage. I'm not even really sure why they released the raw footage on the website, but you know, there's certain times where he's just sitting around and like, you know, acting a little different because they're not actually filming him at that time. They got him there to get certain shots. Like one of them would be his plea to the person he thinks maybe has her, that kind of thing. So when you watch it, don't do the, oh, I'm so clever. I know how to read all the body signs and all that kind of stuff. That's not what's going on there, okay? So let's just play it. Okay, this is me. I'm screen grabbing
Absolutely.
it. So. Okay.
A lot of media attention has focused on a farm in Deep River, Iowa.
I turn up the volume here in a minute.
Do you feel that that's just one of many leads that investigators are looking at that area? It's just one of many things.
I think it's one of many leads that the investigators have to eliminate. It may be something. I know that they are aggressive and pursuing a number of leads. They don't even share the number of leads. That one was highly visible, and many parts of the media, including yourself, found out, and that's terrific. You're doing your job. But I think it's just one element of a very comprehensive investigation and search effort.
We heard that there's about 20 FBI agents working this case, and that's a lot of FBI. What's your reaction to that?
My reaction is, I don't know for certain, but I know that it's many, many more than that. There may be 20 here on the ground, although I think there's more than that here on the ground. But I know, because they have told us, that they are utilizing resources around the country, and that's both human resources as well as technological resources. It's a very large, aggressive, sophisticated effort.
And this is a really tough question to ask, but I feel like it's very important for viewers to hear from you directly on this. Do you think and do you feel that law enforcement is operating under the assumption that Mollie is alive?
I do. They've told us as such.
All right, can you elaborate on that?
They've told us that they think Mollie is
Elaborate
a
on
person.
that. Yes, they told us that.
And until they see evidence otherwise, they're going to assume she's alive, as we are. I'll be honest with you. Early on, I wasn't as hopeful as I am now. But I think the circumstances of this disappearance are so unusual that the solution will be even more unusual. And there isn't anything about this, even remotely, that points to someone wanting to do harm to Mollie. And so, it's totally speculation on my part, but I think that Mollie is with someone that she knows, that is in over their head, that there was some kind of a misunderstanding about the nature of their relationship, and at this point they don't know how to get out from under this. They don't.
I mean, that's something that I speculated on in a couple of my lives, that when she was jogging, or when, even both scenarios, with the one where she was at home, a person that she knew came by, but I was thinking that when she was jogging, maybe a person she knew came by and picked her up, and she got in because she knew him, and then something went haywire with that. And I thought maybe, this was in one of my first lives, was that maybe somebody she went to college with, or goes to college with, likes her, and they're friends, kind of, right? They're friends, but she's not as into him as he is. And he came down and tried to sort of force the issue, if you will, and picked her up, and something, then he went nuts, type of thing. All right, so that is something that we said early on. But he's just speculating, just like we are. He doesn't have any. Apparently, he doesn't have any inside information. All right.
Know how to resolve this. They're probably terrified, and so either we need them to come forward and put an end to this, or we need someone who has knowledge of it to come forward and help us bring Mollie home. I really believe that.
And the fact that law enforcement, they're keeping so many details close to the vest, do you think that is because they do believe that she's out there, and they don't want to reveal so much?
I don't know anything about what they're doing for certain, but I do know that they are keeping all of the information to themselves because they do not want to compromise this. Or, as I think I put it to someone else, if you were on a surgery table and a doctor was about to do open heart surgery, would you question them and ask them for all sorts of information or make suggestions on how they ought to go about operating on your heart? So I don't ask. This is the most skilled group of people and the most motivated group of people. Every man and woman in that team has told us that they have a daughter or a niece or someone. This is very personal for them.
And one last question. I mean, everywhere we've been, we've seen posters of Mollie. People are talking about Mollie. There's just this overwhelming response to find your daughter. And I know I asked you this a few days ago, but I'm going to ask again. What does that mean to you and your family?
I don't know, it's comforting. It's hard to say. I know that it's not because they know Mollie personally, but I think what they see in Mollie is, like I've said, we think Mollie's extraordinary, but we know she's not. We know that everybody thinks their daughter or their girlfriend is extraordinary, and they're probably not. They're just good people. And Mollie's just a good kid.
What he said right there is absolutely true.
Her room's a mess, and she can't drive, and so...
Oh, my daughter is incredible. She's the greatest person in the history of the world. Well, maybe they aren't. He's really just trying to humanize his daughter. I know people are going to judge him on how he said that. Everyone thinks she's special, but she's not, right? He's trying to Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, he's just being honest there, okay? Don't judge it like, wow, what a cold thing to say about the missing daughter. Oh, let's all judge it, because that's exactly what always happens when anybody makes any statement that they don't think they would say. All of a sudden, he's a monster, okay? Just get over yourselves, okay? That's not what is going on almost ever in these people's heads when they say something that you don't approve of, okay? So let's just keep going.
I think everybody sees their own daughter, their own girlfriend, their own sister in Mollie, and they can't imagine what she's going through. And I think they just, like we do and you do, want to see her come home, just see an end to this and get her back to school.
And he has this damn fly that's
close to home
buzzing
for
around
everybody.
and lands on his head about 20 times.
Anybody have?
Oh my
any
God,
other
that must mean
questions?
something.
Is her Fitbit missing? And is her Fitbit missing?
Yes, we can only speculate, I guess, if you put it that way, that she had her Fitbit and her phone with her.
And what has made you said you were hopeful, what has made you more hopeful?
What has made you hopeful?
Oh,
and then she...
The Fitbit.
we do know that, we don't know that she had her Fit, okay.
Yeah, we'll take it down.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard this whole thing, Ashley. That's what I said at the beginning.
It was a good idea.
See, this is what I'm saying. See, he changes his mood and stuff because, they were there to film at the park and then just little sound bites and video clips for the news. And they said, hey, let's go to the park. And that's why he's saying it's a good idea. And the truck makes a lot of noise. I've seen this 3 times now. All right, so the thing is, people are going to judge and go, wow, how come he changed so much? Was he just acting? It must be a crisis actor. Oh, here we go. We've got the false flag, all this crap going. Here we go. You want to hear it? $100. People will make videos about that.
Well, it's a great shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. They cooperated for a while there.
It is nice out for August in Iowa.
Nice in the shade.
Yeah. So the question again was,
Okay.
did she
it's a
have
quick
her
truck,
Fit?
yeah.
Wow.
Is the Fitbit missing?
He's almost done.
When I was when I was interviewing Becky and Mike Patty, I don't know what it was. They didn't have a plane flying around, and I didn't have a plane flying around. But in parts of it, it was like there was a sound going on. But fortunately, when I play back the recording, it doesn't sound as loud. So I don't know what the hell was going on with that. But anyways, just it sort of reminded me of that.
Okay.
The Fitbit is missing.
Well, we know that she always wore her Fitbit, and she always had her phone, which is not unusual for a 20-year-old. And as far as we know, they are missing. And that's why this digital platform is so key to finding her. It's every bit as important as people turning over tips.
Her earphones, are they with her, or are they missing too, or we don't know?
Well, we don't know where they are. They're not there, and so it would have been, but it wouldn't have been unusual for her to have those with her.
And her wallet was left at the house?
I don't know for certain.
Don't know.
And I don't want to speculate.
Sure. One of the producers in New York is just asking, do we know who was last to see her? Their understanding is that she was last seen at 7:30 p.m. on the 18th. I would assume jogging, but do we know who was last to spot her? Was it just people driving through the neighborhood who saw her running? I think there's
My understanding was that there was someone who reported having seen her running on the streets, and so that wouldn't have been unusual. And if they asked for information, people would have called in and said, yeah,
okay.
We saw her. And she ran every night at about that time, so that isn't unusual.
Right.
I think in trying to pin down a timeline, and the authorities are confident in a timeline. They're not sharing why. But the last that we know that I can share
Or what?
with you is that she arrived at the house about 5:30 and then was jogging at about 7:30.
Got it. Okay, that sounds like what my understanding was as well.
But later he sort of makes it sound like she made it home, kind of. It's a little bit weird. I don't know. Well, let me see if I can hear that part again.
Just another question. So at one point, it's hard to get from there, but at one point, you did say that you were hopeful. What has made you more hopeful?
What has made him more hopeful?
The longer we go without finding Mollie, the longer we go without finding Mollie's body, the more hopeful we are that she's alive somewhere, and going through something that she can survive. We saw yesterday a tragic thing, but they haven't found her. And until they do, the assumption is that she's alive, and we need to bring her home.
You said that you think that she's with someone that knows her. That this
That
is a
one lady was
relationship
like,
gone sour, gone south somewhere along the lines. Can you elaborate a little bit on this? And then what does that mean for the circumstances of her disappearance? Do you think that she walked out of that house?
Again, I don't want to speculate too much. It's just we all, and I think everybody in the country, is probably trying to figure this out and playing amateur sleuth, and we really need to let the authorities do that. But
Hey, that's us,
for
man.
whatever
We're
it's
amateur
worth, my 2
sleuths.
cents is
I'll
that
be honest.
no one went into that house to hurt her.
See, nobody went into that house
My-
to hurt her. See that? Nobody went into that house to hurt her. See, why would he say that after you already said that she, last time anybody saw her was when she was jogging? Now you're saying nobody went into that house to hurt her. See, now we're back to, oh, she made it home. And my God, then she was on the home computer doing, yeah, Jesus.
My belief is that she left willingly with someone she knows.
Yeah. She left willingly with somebody she knows. Left where? Oh, the home. Oh, well, how the hell did she make it back home if she was last seen jogging and the dogs are still in the basement, locked in?
Under whatever pretense and whatever circumstance that changed,
And why didn't she grab her?
I think that
Look, if it
person-
was a friend that came by the house to get her, why wouldn't she have grabbed the other stuff, like her wallet, maybe glasses, that kind of things? Like, see, this part doesn't make any sense. To me, it makes sense if somebody, while she was jogging, pulled up that she knew, and he's like, hey, you want to go? Can I talk to you for a little bit? She gets in the car, and then something goes wrong, right?
is probably that Mollie is still with that person under whatever circumstance, simply because they haven't found her.
Understood.
I'm Rob Tibbetts, and if
Yeah, and seeing this is sort of like, okay, let's record your statement. See how it just cut right to that?
simply because they haven't found her.
Understood.
I'm Rob Tibbetts, and if you know anything about Mollie's disappearance, or if you're with Mollie and you're scared and you're in over your head and you don't know how to end this, just simply call the authorities, put an end to this, let Mollie come home, and hold yourself accountable for what you've done so far, but don't escalate this to a point where you can't recover yourself.
See, he shouldn't have said that part at the end, in my opinion, because if it's already been escalated to that point, you'd still want the person to come forward, right? But he's telling the person, oh, there's no return. See?
Just simply call the authorities, put an end to this, let Mollie come home, and hold yourself accountable for what you've done so far, don't escalate this to a point where you can't recover yourself.
Right. So let's say he's already escalated it to a point where he, quote, can't recover himself. Well, the thing is that you still want to encourage that person, but that's not encouraging. He should have said something like, whatever you've done, please come forward so that our family can have peace. Something like that, That now you're sort of saying, he's really assuming she's alive in that statement, basically. But in the, to be honest with you, the sort of more than likely, I'm saying, it's not like way more likely, but it's more likely that she's not with us anymore, right? So the thing is at that point, you got to be talking to both types of scenarios, in my opinion. But let's hope she's still alive. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, Tina. I mean, we can do the maybes till the cows come home. All right. So, I don't know. It doesn't really add anymore. It's just now it's back to being confusing again, because in one fell swoop, we now have him saying, referring to her still being at home again, even though just minutes prior he said that last time she was seen was jogging. Yeah. Well, the FBI hasn't had any clues yet that that anything negative has happened to her. That's probably why they're saying that. Because normally you see there's clues that are already ominous early on, but they don't have anything like that. But you also remember that one agent early on did say that. He said, we believe she's still alive. So he said that early on. All right, well, I think I'm going to actually talk about, I don't know if you guys heard of, I know this is probably not interesting. A lot of times when people get really into one case, they only talk about that one. I look at a whole bunch of different things. All right, I make videos on other cases. So I'm going to talk about this other case that's going on right now. That's sort of like the Hart family one. Do you guys remember that one? This one is these 12 children in New Mexico. And this is Daily Mail, so yeah, sometimes some of their stuff isn't that great in there. But we are starving and need food and water. Message that led to the rescue of 11 children who were found with heavily armed extremist Muslims living in poverty inside New Mexico trailer compound where they had been for months. So let's see, right down here. 11 children who were rescued from a compound in New Mexico on Friday where they were being held by their Muslim extremist parents were discovered after a message was somehow sent to the outside pleading for help. The children are aged between 1 and 15. Some are siblings and some are cousins. They have been held underground at a ramshackle compound. Wow, underground. Literally underground? That's crazy. In a compound in Alameda, New Mexico for months. The FBI was monitoring the site for 2 months, but never searched it because they did not have an arrest warrant. Taos County Sheriff Jerry Hogarth said on Monday. On Friday, however, the sheriff's office intercepted a message that was written either by one of the children or by one of their mothers, which read, "We are starving and we need food and water. Authorities will not say how the message was delivered or who gave it to them, but the sheriff Hogref said, I'm not sure if it's Hogreef or Hogref, said it meant he could not wait any longer for federal authorities to move in on the site. Okay, so I guess these are the two sort of ringleaders of this thing right here. So yeah, they found him. I guess there was somebody missing and it led to this compound, a smaller child. He enlisted Surya Ibn Wajah 39, had an AR-15 rifle, 150 rounds of ammunition, and 4 loaded pistols at his site. He has been on the run since December when he vanished with his 3-year-old disabled son. So that's who they were looking for. From Georgia. The toddler was not found. His brother-in-law, Lucas Morton Wright, was also charged with harboring a fugitive. He is married to Surija's sister, Subhana. Now, if I pronounce any of these names wrong, that's too bad. All right. The children. Let's see. He enlisted a special forces team to lead the raid because he knew the men inside were heavily armed. He added, the children were being held there by a 39-year-old Suraj Ibn Waha, an imam son from New York City, who has been missing since December when he abducted the 3-year-old special needs son from Georgia. All right. So look at this crazy looking compound here. It's got all these tires around and look at that. I don't know if this stuff was put on later or did they actually did the police put this on or did the people at the compound put this plastic on the top? Let's see. Also on the compound was his brother-in-law, Lucas Morton, and 3 women. Subhana Wahaj, 35, and Raj. Listen, I'm just going to start doing the initials. And HW, 38, and Janie Laville, 35, who was also known as Marion. Simbana and her, I can't just say the initials. And Hujara and her sister, and Janie, his wife, she worked his father, Imam Siraj. Why don't they just use the name once and just kind of try to tell the story? My God. All 3 women were charged with child abuse on Sunday after initially being released by police who said they were brainwashed and intimidated by the men. Not found was Wahaj's 3-year-old son, Ag, who could not walk or talk due to hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. Okay, you know what? I should have, checked this article out. I've never seen an article with so many, crazy terms and names that pop up right in my face to try to pronounce. Look at that one. Hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. But I think I actually said that one right. A condition that is caused by brain damage. When police closed in on the property on Friday, his father initially refused to follow orders. Police worried that the raid would end violently because of the fact he was so heavily armed. We had learned the occupants were most likely heavily armed and considered extremists of the Muslim belief. We also knew from the layout of the compound they would have an advantage if we didn't deploy tactfully and quickly, Sheriff Hogriff of Taos County Sheriff's Department said in a statement. The children had been on the site for months without food and were so skinny their ribs were showing. See that now we're getting into the Hart family and also the what the hell's the other name of that other one? I haven't worked on that one for so long I can't remember. What was the original one with the 13 kids? Yeah, the terpenes, right. There you go. Now watch. 17 people are going to type in terpenes. Watch this. Here we go. Even though somebody already said terpenes. Here we go. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah, that's hilarious. But thank you for everybody typing in terpenes. Let's see. I think it's people type it in at the same time, but the chat has to just put them all. They can't. Oh, you're all tied and put it in at once. You know. Yep. See, people are still putting in terpenes. We all gave the kids our water and what snacks we had. It was the saddest living conditions and poverty I've seen, he said, adding that the children look like third world refugees. Yeah, well, it's almost at this point. I mean, it's weird too because, I mean, it was, I don't know. This is just ridiculous. I've been a cop for 30 years and I've never seen anything like it. Unbelievable. They were skinny, their ribs showed, they were in very poor hygiene and very scared. They had no shoes, personal hygiene, and basically dirty rags for clothes, he said. He told ABC. Siraj Wahaj has been on the run since December when he vanished with AG after telling his mother he was taking him to the park. So what he did was he had the kid and then he took off. And I don't know what they were trying to start on this compound here, but that's a little freaky actually. And the children's grandfather is Imam Siraj Wahaj, the leader of the Muslim Alliance of North America and the leader of a mosque in Brooklyn, New York City. The toddler suffered from seizures, developmental delay, wears braces on his legs, cannot talk, and requires daily medication. I guess it said the toddler, not plural. His parents were married for 15 years until he vanished in December. In a Facebook plea for information about her son and husband's whereabouts, Ramsey appealed directly to Subhana, one of 3 mothers found on the compound. She said, "It's not about you. This is all about my son. He needs his medication. My worry is not about..." I mean, why would you take a kid that was in such bad shape in a normal living condition and bring him to a hellhole like that? I mean, these guys are monsters, man. He needs his medication. He needs everything. I don't know if he's alive. Please, 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 I need your help. That's what she wrote on Facebook, I guess. I need my son back to me, and then I will leave you alone, she said. Wahaj is my son of Imam Siraj Wahaj, 68, who belongs to the Masjid at Taqwa Mosque in Brooklyn, New York. The earliest record of him in the United States dates back to 1983. It is not clear where he lived beforehand or if he was born in the United States. In January, his father pleaded for information about his whereabouts. Ah, wow. We got some more barbarians here. But I wonder what was being planned or what they were doing at that facility there. What's the deal with all those tires? You see that? Like, I don't really get that part. Okay, I'm gonna open up a folder here in a second. Yeah, so this is the compound from further out. I don't know if you guys can see that, but me. Now, supposedly this is in this town called Amalia right here. And I was looking for this, but I know that they've only been there for, months, so they could have completely changed that look. on the ground there. You know, I kind of think it's like one of these roads right here. You know, if you go back to that picture. Not that one, excuse me. Yeah, so there's a road here, and I'm just wondering what what work they did to make it look like this. Did they clear this out? I mean, what is this right here? Is that like a gun range, like a target to shoot at? I mean, it looks kind of big, but yeah, it's weird, Jim. I can move around, and I'm not doing the Jim trick. Everybody knows a Jim now. See, now when somebody says, "Do you know a Jim, or does a Jim know you?" You can say, "Yeah." You mean like Jim Nething? Yeah. Right? Right. Yeah, it's weird. I move around in Google Earth now. I don't even think about it. Like I can literally just, do whatever I want to do. Just without, it's kind of almost like a video game, basically. Well, how else is there to say that, Jim? What else do you hear sometimes? Yeah, so I'm trying to find this location. I know it's in this town, but they could have gotten rid of all those bushes and we'd have no clue at this point. But I do notice that on either side of that road, when you look at it, there's the same bushes. So it's kind of like, something like this-ish, where there's bushes on both sides. See that? Like there's a road, bushes, and then this side has bushes too. Yeah. Microsoft 360, huh? Oh. I don't know. In Bing. Yeah, why don't they take these guys out and put them on a commune and don't give them any food? Yeah, heck, they probably like it. Those two guys. Trying to toughen up those kids, huh? Yeah, it's weird. I just don't. It's hard. This is one of those hard ones to find because now that I know that they've changed it, it could be something like in this area. There was a spot that I found earlier that kind of looked like it could have been, but I don't know. See that road? Hey, Daro, thanks. Wow. Appreciate it. See, that doesn't look like a paved road to me. That looks pretty, like it's dirt. And look at right here. Are those tires that they literally put to block the entrance into their compound? It's crazy. Oh, you got to see the dancer. There's a dancer right there. There you go. You almost got it. You almost missed the dancer. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I just heard about this one today. I don't know when this story happened. Maybe it was yesterday or something, but it's crazy. All right, so you've got this little road that came in like this. I'm kind of thinking that some of these were there before they came in. So if we can find a dirt road with an angular road coming in, and then it's all bushes on the other side, we might find the one. Okay, so let me get back my bearings here. All right. So there's the town. That's probably not, it's not enough bushes over there, you see. Yeah, we already talked about the Mollie Tibbetts case. It wasn't really, it was just playing the interview. You can go, if anybody wants to put the link, any of the wrenches wants to put the link to watch the interview in the chat, go ahead and do it so they can go watch it. But, we kind of discussed a little bit of inconsistency in the actual interview itself, because he said the last time anybody saw Mollie was at 5:30 when she was dropped off, and then at 7:30 jogging, but then later sort of referenced that maybe somebody took her from the house. So I don't know where that comes from. All right. Yeah, I'm just looking around here to see if I can find that. This sort of has a look that you might want right here with the bushes, although the road doesn't look quite right. Mean? Who's talking about me being mean? Yeah, no problem, Jim. Yes, I'm so mean. Yeah, she always says I'm mean. Darrow does. But she's apparently goofing around. Well, I gotta try to find this spot. Now it's bugging me. It's like putting a puzzle piece together. I couldn't find a specific location. Hey, thank you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth D. donated on PayPal. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Might be buying that drone soon. I mean, with your donation and others. Okay. Thank you. I haven't figured out. I thought I had it set up where PayPal would do the same thing on the screen, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to be working. But hey, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Man, so these people just loaded up tires and brought them in, huh? Tires also you can set on fire too. I wonder what they were. They're not really that great of a barrier though. I mean, what would you do with the tires? What do you mean, Gray? Haven't you seen the whole community's built out of tires? Yep, one of these days I'll get a drone. I better hurry up and get one before they're all banned, though, don't you think? Yeah, you notice as soon as you drop off, you're not talking about the hot case. People go, oh, okay, forget it. Who's the, they move on to, like, try to read something because all they really want to care about. See, sometimes I like to have, like, 10 cases in my head at the same time. You know? Like, right now, my brain is almost to a saturation point with the various cases out there. Like, Rachel Del Tondo took up too much space, basically. You know what I'm saying? Hey, thanks, Mr. Vanjie. I am. I'm a dork, a freak, whatever you want to call me. I don't mind being called a dork, you know. It doesn't sound great, but you know what I mean? It just means dorks are usually smart people. You know what I mean? Kind of like a geek or a nerd, right? So you can call me a dork all you want, all right? I just need to get the glasses with the tape in the middle, and thanks, Jim. All right, I'm going to go back to searching, all right? If you get bored, get the hell out of here. Well, there are some dorks that are golfers, right? I'm actually pretty good at golf, though. This year I had, even though I'm older, I had my 2 best rounds scoring-wise. I've shot 74 about 20 times, you know. I just keep, 74, 74, 74, 74, you know, like I shoot in the 70s a lot, like basically every time I play. But the one time this last year, I guess it was late last year actually, about in like October, we got up early at like 5:30 in the morning, and it was a par 71, really good course called Langdon Farms, and I shot a 70, 1 under. It was like leapt all the way from 74 to a 70 after all that time, and then I shot a 71 like 2 weeks later after that. And I got a hole-in-one all within that same period of time. The hole-in-one was pretty funny because I think it was like 140 yards hole with a lake on the left, and my friend, he said to everybody, one of us just get a hole-in-one, right? So I put the ball down, and right when I hit it, it just felt so perfect. I said, like this one? And then I look at the ball, and literally like right on contact, they go, like this one? And we're just watching this ball. It is absolutely right on the flagstick, and then it bounced about 2 feet in front of it and just rolled right in. And they all went, oh my God, it went in. I go, oh, come on. It was just over this little ridge, but you could sort of see it, but I just wasn't going to believe it until I got up to the green. We went up to the green. There was no ball there. And I look in there, and there it is, sitting in the hole. And then it's like, woohoo! Boom! All right? Okay, forget it. Enough about the golf, all right? Yeah, and I never played in high school or anything like that. That's cool, Mary. Yeah. Of course, he gets to play from the yellow tees, right? And plays on a... Well, that means he beat his age. Man, he's like one of those miracle people. Yes, I know, Mr. Vanjie. Of course. Of course. But I'm not going to be talking about Mollie anymore on this call, on this video. What do you think about that, Mr. Vanjie? I think it's time for you to go. Well, he's not going to talk about Mollie. Yeah, Jesus. All right, let's see. Where's the other one? I was looking at another spot earlier, but now I can't find it. You have to have the bushes on both sides of the... Well, I might bring up Mollie again later. Who knows? Hey, Mr. Vanjie. Hey, cool that you're joking around, but you got to put some... yeah, it's not really that funny. You know what I mean? Like, what you're saying isn't really like... You know, there's no punchline. There's no, like, emoticons or anything. It just comes across like trolling, to be honest with you. But yeah, I get it. Okay, that's cool though. You're joking around. People can't read minds. Although, if you know girl code, then maybe that's what you're deploying, because I can't understand anything that you're saying in terms of being funny. Like going into a group saying, God, that guy's an idiot. What a loser. And then all of a sudden you say, I was just kidding. Oh, wow, that's hilarious. That's really creative thinking there. You know, that was some funny stuff. That was... You don't think any of those big bushes, I don't know what you call those, but they're really big. I don't see any of those in that image. They're all just those small ones. I think those are, well, I can't tell if those little things there are bushes or rocks, like lava rock. It looks like bushes, the little things in there. Oh, I'm trying to find the compound, Mr. Vanjie, or Vange1, whatever the hell it is. I'm trying to find the compound where the 11 kids were kept. Oh yeah, air balloon that's out of control. Here we go. Woo! Oh my God! Plummeting to Earth. Yeah. That one almost kind of was feeling good there for a second. I wonder if there was anything there before they even got there. It doesn't sound like it. Yeah, they moved the press conference to Friday. Someone asked me why they think it was canceled. What game court? I don't know why you can't see the comment. Is that Dan Davidson? My buddy Dan Davidson? I think the comments are, you have to watch it like, I don't know how to do it on a cell phone. Yeah, what do you think the guess is there, Tina? I don't think anybody has a clue why they canceled it. It could be that they were fed so much food and water, that they just, need a break. Because we all know that being hydrated allows you to do better investigative work. So thank you so much for that water. Yet again. Oh, you have to I don't have it hidden. So if Dan, it's on a cell phone. Well, ask them how do you do it on a cell phone? How do you get the chat to show up for somebody? I just have a computer. I don't ever use my phone for YouTube or anything like that. I don't even know how you guys do that. It's like, how do you watch something on my screen? It's massive what I'm looking at right here. 19 something by whatever, high definition, and then you look at it on a cell phone, it's tiny. At the bottom, hey Patricia, how's it going? Oh yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, let's see. Okay, cool. There we go. That's perfect. See, this is what he just loaded up right there. So I'm going to move that off to the side here because I can't have them on the screen at the same time. And then I'm going to get, I think I was pretty close to that area. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it was just right in here. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, it looks like it's right in here. Yeah, that's exactly right. So their map is about like this. And then they're pointing at this, and it's right here. It's got to be like something like right there though. Hold on. So yeah, on their map that I'm looking at, so just see that right there? See how that light area right there? And then just down from the top, I'm not sure if you can see this because it's so, let me do the, I'll just make it bigger. Alright. Alright, now you guys can see that better. So you see this light area there, and then about, I don't know, 40% down and then up, kind of, and then there's this sort of square-ish dark area there. And I think Google Earth has that same. Okay, so there's the light area, and then about 40%, it should be like right in there. And I'm pretty close here. Hold on, let me do this again now. That was too far up there. I think it's more like right there, but just a sec. I mean, it's hard to know how accurate some of these map, but I'm sure that this is closer. Okay, so it's actually back a ways too, and so you're looking at, now it's about halfway and then back a little bit. All right, so about right there and then maybe up in that area. Is that it right there? I mean, there's a thing. Let me just take a look at that picture again. Hold on. I mean, this is there. I mean, they might have changed it a lot, though. Let me just take a look at the. So you got this. And then, see, you got to picture this is at a lower angle on it's more like this, watch. And see that right there? That could be this. So if I go about like that, right? And then bring that picture back in. And then maybe they changed up like some of this area. I don't know. Like it would have been a lot of work to get rid of that. But that angle there was pretty interesting, but I'm going to keep looking around. Maybe it's like right next to it or something. I think this is that road though, for sure. I'm not, let me see if anybody's saying anything in the chat there. But thanks, Vic. That does narrow it down a little bit more there. Let me just let me try that again. Go back out. So it's about like that. See, notice you can see the same shape here. Just gonna do it for you guys so you can see it. See that? So right there, it looks like if I need to rotate that a little bit more to match this. All right, so it looks like if you take that straight line out, then right where this other light area meets, you go straight up. So right there it meets and then straight up. So about right there. I'm gonna put a pin where it looks like. Ah, crap. There. All right, I think that the pin is gonna go like about right there for now. Let's see. All right, so right where these two meet and then straight up. You meet and then straight up. So it needs to be a little bit more to the right. All right, so let's see what's there. Doesn't that look pretty good? I think that one looks pretty good right there. Hmm. See, keep in mind that this Google Earth map right here is October 2016, so it's not that long ago. It's less than 2 years ago. But I'm kind of wondering if, is this it right here, or somehow it just doesn't look. Because that pin sure is close to where. See, that's there. But that's the one we were looking at a minute ago, so originally we were even pretty close. Yeah, there must be an actual address too, you know. Maybe it says it on here. Let's see, compound. Alright, so what do we got going on in the chat here? Anything positive in there? It looks like the one with the triangle entry. Yeah, the one that we were looking at before. This one. It does kind of seem like that. But if you go out, look at how far that's up there. See that one with the triangle? It's right there. And so if you go up to here, that doesn't match the pin. But, you know, again, sometimes these articles are just, they're not exactly 100% accurate. But see how that, you can't see that. Hold on. See how the pin, this little white, isn't that far from, I mean, even though it's a smaller image, I'm just saying, ratio-wise to this, it's you know, the triangle thing's more up in there, like where my face is right now. Right. Wow, that's a solar farm right there. Yeah. I thought I was just going to stick out like a sore thumb once we got over here, but I guess I could take a look at the picture again. Kind of forgot. Hey Dan, you still out there? You been following the Mollie Tibbetts case? Dan's one of the funniest people I've ever seen. If you actually knew him on Facebook, man, he makes some of the funniest posts. He's got my kind of humor, the dry humor. Big long posts that if you didn't know him, you'd think were serious, but they're not. So it's definitely not this one. Forget that. Yeah, dry humor, actually, you have to, the people laughing have to have a higher, like they actually have to realize, it's a higher form of humor. I don't know how to, how to explain it. But, like I get a lot of people that say, "Oh, great, man, you're so mean. I don't like your humor. You know, whatever." They don't because they don't even get it. That's the problem. So then they say, "I'm unsubscribing. You're so mean." And I say, "Get the hell out of here then. I don't care. What I want is people that actually get it, right? Sarcasm, that kind of thing." That's the way I am. So if you're gonna bitch about how I am, then don't watch. Okay, it's that simple. You know, just don't watch me. Go watch. You know, like here's the thing: is when you watch a show on television and you don't like the show because you think it sucks. Do you keep watching it just for anger purposes? I mean, what would you keep watching that for? So listen, if you don't like me or my humor or the way I am, just don't watch it. There's thousands of other videos and YouTubers that do live streams, whatever. And you just don't have to watch mine, all right? I get comments all the time. I really liked it, but when you started doing, hey, listen, too bad. When I'm on doing this stuff, I just think of things and I say them. I'm just me, right? Hey, by the way, listen to me. I know a lot of you guys don't like Trump, right? But I'm going to show you guys something, right? So this is going to be not politically correct, but he did something. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Okay? So hold on. I'm going to find this thing. And if you don't laugh when you see this, then there's something wrong. Something wrong with you, okay? So I was on the Mark Dice. I don't know if you guys ever watched Mark Dice. He's hilarious. All right, but I'm just going to play this one clip that he had on here, okay? Watch this. So Mark Dice always does a dork voice, but it's Trump here. See, Trump, when Trump makes fun of like being too presidential. I mean, this is one of the funniest damn things I've ever seen in my life, all right?
They'd say, he's not acting presidential. And I'd say, well, it's a lot easier to act presidential than to do what I do. Anybody can act president.
Now, watch how he imitates somebody being presidential. It's the funniest thing ever. Look at it. Like a robot. Watch when he comes back to the thing. It's hilarious. You gotta love this stuff. Look at what? Waddles over there.
Ladies and gentlemen of the state of Florida, thank you very much for being here. You are tremendous people. And I will leave now because I am boring you to death. Thank you.
Bam! God, that's funny as hell, man. How could that not be the funniest thing?
Poor Jim Acosta just can't catch a break.
Come on. That is so funny, man. That's what I think, too. Who the hell wants that boring crap? Oh, and beyond the hills of... Yeah, get the hell out of here. All right? Let's just have people that are normal. All right? Jesus. And so what's funny is I'm a little bit like that, right? Like I just say what I'm thinking. And hopefully more people like that than the robots that show up. Even though I am Graybot 2000 sometimes, all right? Might have to get that one back. Let me see if I can get my... No, I can't do that. Oh, gosh. Okay, hold on. You can't see my stream here, but you can still hear me. I'm not sure how that's going to work, though. Every time I hit that button, it does this. But I think I can stop streaming and go streaming again, and it goes right back. So let's try to do it. So I don't know if you guys can still hear me or not, but I got cut off right there. Yeah, there's this app. Did it come back on at all? I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you guys still hear me on here? Okay, you can. Okay. I don't know if it continued the other stream or the other one's just out there, but there's this weird thing. If I start this software program, it takes off the view of the stream that I was on, but whatever. All right. So hopefully it stayed on the same one. All right. Yeah. That's right. I am entertaining sometimes, right? So the thing is, but I also put out really, I try to get the facts in the cases, and I put everything together. So it's not just entertaining, all right? But if you can throw in a few laughs here and there, why the hell not, right? I'm not just a bot 2000. Yeah, it looks like about 50 people dropped off right after I lost the connection. Not sure why, but... I'm a Libra, Elizabeth. Yes, I know that account. Nice try, nice try. Yeah. Exactly, what the hell? That's okay if they don't come back or not. Tonight's was just, I'm just kind of searching around for the compound after the ridiculous story of the Islamic extremist, sort of fundamentalist types built a compound and are starving 11 kids out there living in rags. I don't know what they were building out there or what they were doing or what the purpose of it was. You know, it's a little bit unsettling, to be honest with you. But now I'm just trying to find the compound that apparently they were at. So I guess that these are bushes right here. So that, you know, that was accurate. They're not those bigger things that you see over here. They seem like they're either, you know, shrubs or some sort of trees, but definitely this makes more sense. See, that pin was close to this spot here. The only problem is it doesn't have that straight road. That's not really, I don't know if that's counted as a road there. And plus the bushes aren't on this side. So having a hard time making that one work. The one that we were looking at earlier, this one seemed almost to be the best chance, but then where did all this stuff go? Maybe those people moved this stuff out and vacated the lot, and then the other people came in and cleared out some area here. Hard to say, really. And also this, I don't think this is it. This can't be it, because see these bushes right here? It's not like that whole area right there would have grown back in that quickly. These things take a while here. Yeah, usually that's what I did in the McStay case. It took me forever, but I actually matched up the same type of bushes until I found the right sequence of bushes, and I found exactly where the grave sites were. Yeah, I'm not dropping any frames, so if anybody's buffering, check your system. What's weird about this one here is it looks really solid like that, like almost like they planted more around like that. So maybe we could find something that looks solid like that, but because that would take a while, unless those are tires that they put right there too. I don't know. And it's at an angle like this about. If you look at the sides of these roads, they all have a little thicker, like, line of bushes next to it. I don't know. I don't know. What does it got to do with what we were looking at, though? Looks like some sort of a mining operation. Or maybe that's where the alien ship crashed in 1947. I don't know how close this is to Roswell, but you just never know. Pretty weird coloring there, isn't it? Yeah, it looks kind of like... Oh, it's probably a dump. Doesn't that look like a dump right there? Look at that. A junkyard. I don't know what the coloring is, though. Let's hold on. Let's check other years. Could just be a funky... Yeah, see, that's just some kind of weird lighting thing for that time. See that? So this is 2012, 2011, 2012 again. I'm going back the other direction. And then September 2013, and now it looks like that. But I think it's just kind of like a lighting effect. You see that? Because look right here, the same ridge and everything's there, but as soon as you go to that next, you know, all of a sudden now it's white and the ridge is there. I don't know. I don't know why it looks like that. It'll occupy the minds of conspiracy theorists for a millennium. All right. And now I have to go try to figure out. There it is right there. Yes, we went to the moon. Yep. 100%. We went to the moon. Here's what, yeah, that's one of those other ones too. If you believe the moon landing's fake, or you believe Sandy Hook's fake, please unsubscribe. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I used to like Art Bell, but, you know, the moon landing happened, all right? Now, why they haven't been back since then? Why don't they build a station on the moon? I don't know. You need me to think out loud, huh? You don't want to hear what I'm thinking, though. It's like, oh, God. Here we go. Here comes the nut jobs again. Hey, do we have a flat earth too there, Phil? Do we have the flat earth too? Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, I don't want to do the whole thing. I have to do the timeout. Where do these people come from? Really? It's amazing. What they should do is build a station on the moon and then launch, and then over time build an entire, like a launching system and everything from the moon, and then launch spaceships from there, and you'll have way more fuel. Because it's, you know, the atmosphere is so much, yeah, you could easily... See, that's one of the things I just wish that they'd say, yeah, let's go back to the moon. But there might be an issue with the whole moon thing, right? Because let's say you started messing around with the moon and trying to mine the moon and do all this kind of stuff. Well, then all of a sudden, I mean, I don't know how long it would take, probably hundreds and, you know, maybe thousands of years, but you're going to change, I don't know. I mean, this might be sort of naive a little bit, but if you start affecting how much mass the moon is, then all of a sudden it might affect things over time, right? Because you're going to literally, you start, you know, strip mining the moon, you're trying to get stuff, then you ship it back off, you know, and over 1,000 years doing that, you might affect but it might be such a minuscule amount of the total weight that it would never actually screw that up. I'm just throwing that out there, though. Those guys were visited at the base and nuclear weapons were disabled. What are you guys talking about in there? Did a bunch of lunatics just show up to my... I don't know who she's referring to. I don't know what's going on in the chat right now. All of a sudden it turned into some weird conspiracy theory wacko central, right? Remember the old mind mess? Yeah. That's what we got going on now. You ever notice that you always get the same people, like the flat earthers, we didn't land on the moon, Sandy Hook's fake. They always have these things they try to bust out. But what they never do is ask the people that actually know, you know? Like, every single astronaut knows the Earth is round, right? A sphere. They know it's not a big flat thing, right? And then the astronauts that have actually stepped foot on the moon, they know it, that they were there too. Oh, of course they're making it up, though, right? I see. They're making it up. But they always have these things that will prove it. You know what? Because I can't prove that the Earth is, you know, a sphere, because I'm not up in space, and I also what do you call it? And I've never stepped on the moon. So that's what they rely on, is the fact that there's very few people that actually know the answer, and of course, those people are controlled. The thing is all logic dictates that the Earth is a sphere, right? Oh, look at this. Look at this crap. Look at this weird. Isn't that weird? They tricked Google, too. They made a fake... This whole thing should have been a big flat blob that you just fly straight across to everything on, too. Isn't that weird? But see, Gray, that's what they want you to believe. Yeah. I don't know. We'll just say the compound's in this area, right? It could be that they actually put all that stuff in, right? Like literally, it could be right here, and then they just dug in and cut out all those bushes and made their own little track. They maybe bought a little plot of land there. I don't know. I'm sure we'll get... If I had just some helicopter footage of it, I could do it. So if anybody can find helicopter footage flying around, I could find this in 2 seconds. Yes, Google Earth is now fake too. Yeah, like when I've seen people on, you look at the paths that planes take from like the US to Japan, they actually go up and do an arc, right? Staying closer to land. Oh my God, there must be a conspiracy there. Yeah. Well, hey, Phil, it only bothers me that you actually believe that. That's more of a problem for me, right? Because every time you say anything at this point, I'll go, oh boy, there's Phil. He believes the moon landing's fake. Oh boy, how can we take anything he says seriously, right? So that's the part that, as soon as I see that, I go, oh man, you drop quite a bit down on the scale of trustworthiness. It's like, oh boy, here we go. But yeah, you don't have to bring it up again. That'd be great. School and grew up with the Google is totally in on it. Yep, you got it, man. Listening to the flat earth. Yeah, remember when they were on here that one time? And it just got so nauseating. It was unbelievable. Hey, thank you, Julene. I hope I said that right. Did I say that right? I think I've said your name before. I don't know if you corrected me, but Julene Blandon. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I would do like one of the other guys says and say, yeah, it helps keep the lights on. I'm just trying to break even, No, look at everybody that's a YouTuber. You hope people like their channel, and maybe someday you can just do that instead of a normal job, right? But I'm not really planning on that. Let's put it that way. I have a regular job in the daytime. Yes, I'm just trying to keep the lights on. I do. I write Python. See, I am a dork, right? I write Python scripts that some of them emulate like Google Chrome and go out and go to websites and it's for search engine optimization, right? It scrapes data for when you do a Google search and the top 20 results, it'll get those and then put them in order onto a spreadsheet or a text file, basically. I do it tab delimited, but it'll store all the pertinent information in a structured format, and then you can have people advise the internal clients will advise our real clients, like Intel or Purina, whatever, and they'll let them know what keywords they need to use so that their products show up earlier in the search results. But I don't do any of that part. Now, good night, Tina. I don't do that part. I just collect the data and I let them do it. Yeah, Elaine must live in the UK, or at least Europe. How about that? Can you lower somebody's arrest from the first page? You mean result is what you meant, right? No, I don't know how to make it go. Well, I mean, yeah, if you advise them really poorly. That made your brain hurt? Come on. Yeah, listen, I write programs that go out and gather it's called authority, right? So even on Amazon, I do the same thing. Like on Amazon, if you typed in the word drone, the top 50 results for drones, and I put them in order, and you sort of wonder, how did that one that was in first place get there? And then you try to advise your clients to do similar things, and hopefully they'll start moving up. It's a lot more complicated than that, but that's what I do. Yeah, I don't know how to take them. They're not going to be able to do that because whoever made that web page isn't going to want to do that. Do I have a favorite case that I've followed? Let's see. I have a bunch that are the same. For a long time I did the Jodi Arias one. The McStay case was one of my favorites. That trial's coming up later this year. That'll be pretty cool to get back into that a little bit. To believe it or not, the Rachel Del Tondo one's been very interesting. Yeah. And the Hart family one was mildly interesting. It was more just disgusting, really, but it was interesting trying to figure out all the different locations and kind of develop the theory. It's pretty cool how, when we're doing our shows and we're all talking and everything, we've pretty much get what happened in our theories, like every single time. The CDC worker, we nailed that sucker the first night, really. I even said, wow, there's probably somebody that was interested in him, or that he was interested in, but was not interested in him. And that's probably what his personal problems are surrounding. And then his professional problems were that he didn't get that promotion that everybody else would call a promotion. But in his industry, it's called just trying to find another job at a higher level. Promotions are given out in or earned. You don't apply for them, I don't think. So, yep, that one, we nailed that one. Just basically all of them, really. I haven't found one yet that I went, wow, it was so off. Now, here's the thing. In this one we're working on now, the Mollie Tibbetts case, I could see being way off at some point because all the facts keep changing around. There's nothing to go by. There's no little hints that, oh, yeah, like in the Timothy Cunningham case, you had the parents making comments and you knew that there was something wrong with Cunningham himself, not the situation. Are you guys all fighting in there? Oh yeah, you're a tattoo artist, huh, Julene? That's pretty cool. Get a hold of Julene Blandon to get your own tattoo. That's 1-800-TATTOO. Although, I'm not sure if that's the right amount of letters. Yeah. I think I was off by one. Oh, well. Let's see. Well, the police obviously know more. The FBI obviously knows more than they're saying. we're just not going to get to know anything. No. Yeah, they definitely have it like right there. Let me look at that one more time here. So if you went proportion-wise, 1, 2, about 3 different, so maybe it's farther up. So from right there, it's 1. So about 1, 2, 2.5 of those. Yeah, that looks like almost exactly where they have it. You know, I almost think it's like right in here, you know? Just right on this juniper court. You know, I wonder if that software program that I have works. Remember that one website that I go to that's pretty crazy that you can get names of people? Let's try to do that. Hold on. J. I'm going to try this. There we go. Alright, so this is going to be in New Mexico. And what's the name of that town again? It's called, don't type it in, I'll see it in 2 seconds. I'm just talking out loud. Amalia. Right there, Amalia. There we go. All right. Oh, and they're all P.O. boxes. How do you like that? Oh, boy. Well, thank you. That doesn't do me any good. Wow. Well, not a can. Well, I guess you're in the right profession, Julian. Copper. All right. Well, I'm just going to do this on the side over here, and you guys can do whatever you're doing. I know there's nothing really to be talking about. I'm just checking a map here. I actually have it more like right there. See, that is what I was saying, right there. So now we can do a, perhaps, see if we can line that up with some of these bushes. Okay, see that? There was that one. Ah, crap. Get out of here. Jeez. See that one there, you might be able to find that bush right there. See if there's a clear year. No. I don't see any bushes on that road either, like that one has. Come on, Jesus. Yes, I haven't said a word in 5 minutes because my brain started thinking about something. UFO, fact or fiction? I did. The title is on that. Sorry, Amy. It is on there. Thanks. She just thought she'd be all pretty, like, hey, Gray, can you do a little bit better job and put the name on there? Yes, it's on there. Thank you. Go check yourself. Gosh darn it, Amy. That's so disappointing. I am now officially gonna have to retire, all because of you not seeing that on there. All right, everybody, blame her on it, okay? Sorry, that was some actual toenail clippers falling apart, even though I wasn't even using them. I was just, every once in a while you hear that sound, I just have them in my hand. No, I haven't found, I think it's just in this area right here, though. It's like right here, but maybe, like just picture this, right? And then maybe just think to yourself that they came in and cleared this out since 2 years ago. This is October 2016 over here in Google Earth, and maybe they just cleared this area out right here. You know, came in, made a couple deals. I don't know. I can't find anything that looks like this. But this is where apparently it is on a map. This is there too. They could have done something with this, but that doesn't look like a road right there. That was in the background. It looks more refined, more like that road. See, I think this juniper... But it could also be that whoever put that little dot on the map was an idiot. And it's not even close, right? This thing right here, who knows if that's accurate or not. Yeah, let's try this. Yeah, I don't want to lose that one though. Wow, that's some other thing that has to do with West Mesa killings of 11 people, huh? So maybe Juniper can't be in there.
Now to a shocking discovery.
Shock the morning. Investigators are in water. Authorities saying they found it.
I'm a 30-year police officer. This is by far the worst thing I've ever seen as far as living conditions. This one hit us all very hard.
Authorities saying they found...
It's a little bit clearer, but notice how on the road those bushes aren't really on the road there. And on when you look at Google Earth, and you know the road actually has bushes that are on there. And even on this road over here, it's got to be a more well-traveled one, like maybe like this one here. See this road right, this is what the road looks like. You see that? There's no bushes on this road. There are on this one. There's a little bit, none right there, but this could be, this is one we looked at a little bit ago. I don't know if this is it. Why do I need to look at the chat? Why do I need to look at the chat? Why do I need to look at the chat, Kim? Yeah, I'm just saying, look, even on that image by, that was on ABC, look at that, there's no bushes on that road right there, right? Okay, so because of that, when you look at Google Earth here, these roads all have bushes and stuff. This one doesn't, though. So obviously a little bit more traveled. You know, I keep looking at this spot here, but that doesn't look right. Yeah, we're back to this one again. Let's take another look at this. Yeah. What is Chris referring to? If it's something about this, then let me know. But
Authority.
yeah, it's like a junkyard or something. Jesus. I've got to get out of here, guys. Got a long drive. All right, see you later, Asphalt Cowboy. Which probably means you ride a motorcycle, right? Like the old Bon Jovi song, right? Well, you got some more images there, Vic? Oh, okay. Hopefully we can get some better aerial shots. Ah, man, if they could have just kept panning there. Oh, there you go. Oh, there, that's perfect. Oh, crap. So is this it right here? Yeah, that's it. I can see the road coming in there, and then the tires. Okay, that's it, man. Sweet. We're gonna do it now. I saw these mountains earlier in the background of another shot, but that didn't help me at all. This should be able to do it right here. I'm just trying to see those mountains that I was looking at. But yes, I'll go right to it here in a second. I just want to... I think this is it right here. Because that's sort of the end of that. Let me go back to the... So it goes straight and then curves around. And there's this thing by itself right there. So it's actually back here. So this is something new. That's what I was saying. That's exactly right. Remember a minute ago? I was saying it's probably right here. That's exactly where that is. Look at it. So I'm going to put this up like this. Man, I even pointed to the right spot on there without seeing anything. I think that's the right spot anyways. Look, so it curves around and then there's a road here. There's a little thing going off here that I don't see though on Google Earth. But maybe that was there later. I don't know. That's got to be it, though. This is the same spot right there. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, you see how it goes like that? And let's take a look at that building there. That should be pretty... I mean, is there anything else that looks like that at all, anywhere? No. That's it. Alright, so let's try to line this puppy up right here. Yep. I think it's more like right over here. Yeah, so we had no chance of finding that, but that's the only street that earlier looked like that. Although this one does have bushes on it, so I don't know if that's the one. But that's where I was thinking earlier, like, could it be on in between in a spot that you can't actually... It's probably a little bit further up than that. But I think that's it, Vic. It's just not there. They built all that stuff. All right. Yeah, it has to be it. That's the only place that, I mean, look at the, right here, the road goes straight, and then curves, then sort of straightens out again, and then curves again. That's exactly the same. Look, it goes like that, turns. I have to open that up again. That sucks that you can't just hit pause. Yeah, come on. I don't even know how I did that a minute ago and it didn't do that, but interesting. But yes, that is the spot. It's just not, well, it just doesn't have the compound there. Let's see. So that looks pretty, let me try it. Maybe I'll do a screenshot of that while that's going and then call it good on this thing here. Gonna open up my Snagit program here, put it on images, already was. And then open this back up again, go to the 26, well, oh crap.
Residents in one local neighborhood say they...
I have to go find that link again. Helicopter footage of... Did Kay send me that link? In an email? Okay, I'll go check that one. Or was that the same thing that Vic had? All right.
It was in a remote compound in the high desert of... It was...
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so that's definitely going to be it. See how there's a little delineage, a line right there? It's you see the same line in that footage. It's just sort of a greener area right back there.
It was in a remote compound in the high desert of New Mexico that police found the children, 11 of them, ranging in age from 1 to...
Okay. Yeah. Feel pretty good about that being it. So, I mean, better than good. I'm 100% sure that that's the spot. Let's put it that way.
It was in a remote...
I think like some of these things are all new that they've put in the last 2 years, because you can see it meets back up with this road in that footage. It's about like this. And then right there's that other sort of road that's back there. Man, that's crazy that they did all that digging and stuff just in that little bit of time with seemingly not much to do it with. Hey, 19, it has nothing to do with Mollie. And if you read the title of the video, you'd see that we were actually going to discuss something else. Oh, boy. Yep, this is the New Mexico 11 part. We couldn't find the compound because it doesn't exist in 2016. They actually looks like they dug out some land there and put it there. All right. Yeah. Well, that's okay. Sorry for those people that are lost. Maybe next time try to check out the live when it starts up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Callister, I'll do whatever the hell I feel like doing. If somebody comes on and acts like they're, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, that's how they're going to get back, okay, Callister? So get the hell out of here yourself. I'm not really interested. You got your little fake anon little face on there. That's great. You know? I won't. That's right. My wife was telling me I had to make. Don't forget to make coffee. Sorry. Thanks, Glenn. See, I just got a subscriber right there. All right. It's so weird when people come on and tell me how to be. Look at it. When I make my standalone videos, you're not going to have me talking to you or people that make crazy comments unless I'm doing a debunking video, which at that point I go all out on the lunatics who see faces in the grain of wood. All right. But when I'm doing a live video and you have a billion other videos to go watch, you can go watch those. All right. I don't care. Now, if you like my videos, I mean, normally we're just going over things and trying to figure things out, right? Tonight, I had a little bit of an update on the Mollie Tibbetts case, and then wanted to look into that the 11 kids that are malnourished in New Mexico being abused by some, I guess, some Islamic extremist kind of group on a compound, okay? And then I thought, well, geez, maybe I'll figure out where that is. And yes, for a while I've been looking for it. So if I'm not talking about exactly what you want me to talk about right at the moment, I apologize. Okay, cool. I'm glad. I love music. But what you should do, like when I come on and you see that I've been on here for 2 hours and you say you're lost, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do about it. Okay, because I started a long time ago, and right now I'm just sort of in a groove trying to figure out where the compound is. and everybody wants everything catered to just them. Like I'm supposed to stop everything and then start over again. Okay? If you want to see the interview with the father, someone can put the link in the chat and you can go watch that, because that's really all it was early on. The father of Mollie got a little bit, he made things a little bit more confusing again, because he said that, oh, the last known locations of Mollie were at 5:30 when her brother dropped her off, and at 7:30 running, and then later proceeded to say that the person that took her from the house, I don't know how he phrased it, but it implied that it was from the house, right? So that got kind of confusing, right? So that's all that was. And then after that, we started talking about the New Mexico case, right? But what I don't like is when people come on and they're not hearing exactly what they want to hear. Everyone gets so like obsessed with one thing, and that's it. I mean, I could do 9 4-hour shows in a row about Mollie Tibbetts. I literally can just keep going over the same thing over and over and over again and say, yep, there's nothing new today. Nope, nothing new today. Yep, she still probably went missing while running. Yep. Oh, nope, looks like they changed it back to the home. We still don't know anything about what time it was. Oh my God, the red shirt, that was totally missing. Well, by God, I found the 2 shirts that I knew about, but there could have been a third one. I mean, isn't that the craziest speculation you've ever heard in your life? I mean, it goes from, we can't find the red shirt, to, well, we found both of the shirts that any of us ever knew about, but there could be a third one that we've never seen. You see how crazy that is? So the confusion is caused, so far, has been caused by the family. I'm not blaming them. I mean, I could imagine how stressful it is. I mean, I'm blaming them for the confusion, but I'm not blaming the fact that they're doing that, because they're probably, saying things out of a hopeful nature at sometimes. Then they really sort of look into things and it might change a little bit. I don't know. Right. I've done millions and millions. I can do one right now by heart, an update, without even looking at that town. I can do it. I even have all their names memorized. Right, and there you go again, another family member, the Nancy Grace cousin that Jan just mentioned. Absolutely, I thought, wow, look at this. But it turns out everything she said, like 90% of what she said wasn't accurate. And that must be frustrating for Nancy Grace too, right? Because like 3 days after that person's on the show, she's going, oh boy, that wasn't even accurate. Yeah, and then right, exactly. The Jake, Blake, and Jack. Yeah, it's actually, Blake, Jake, Blake, and Dalton. I can't even say it now. Yeah, it's Blake and Dalton Jack, and then there's Jake and Scott, the other 2 brothers. Yeah, I remember that one. I think that was the Castro incident. Yeah, sometimes it's difficult when you're actually trying to speak about it and you have to say Jake, Blake, and then the articles moronically keep putting Jack said this when there's 2 Jacks, right? And then you start thinking they must mean Jake, but then that's completely unrelated because that's not part of the Jack family. And when before I sign out tonight, make sure to remind me to make the coffee. I usually remember, but if any of you can say, don't forget the coffee. And I always get my wife her glass of water too. What's funny though is like in the middle of the night, like I'm still watching TV sometimes because I'm winding down from these stressful lives that I'm doing. Actually, I'm just watching TV, and so she gets up to go pee or something like at 2. And if I forgot to put the water in her dead cold sleep, she'll hold the glass and put it in my face, point it at me and point at the glass and go, you forgot my water. I don't do that too often, but that does happen. It's too early to say make the coffee, Jan. Darn it. Yeah. Hey, look it. There are times in here I make mistakes on what people are saying and comment, and I apologize for those times. It's just hard to keep up, and then when you read something totally out of context, sometimes it sounds a certain way. Right? And that's why sometimes I say, wow, I shouldn't even read the comments. But then, if I don't read the comments, I get 50 comments saying, Gray, do you ever read the comments? Yeah, it's 11:30. She went to bed. Yep. I wonder where Roswell is. What's this thing over here? Ute Mountain. That's crazy. Look at these little like volcanoes just. Hey, Roswell wasn't that far away, everybody. Look at that. There's part of the craft right there. Tell me that's not part of the craft. Look at that. Right there. I think that might be the head of one of the aliens right there. You see that? It's a little bit odd looking though because there's this vertical line there. I don't know what that means. It's really strange. Okay, right there. You see that? The head. And then his face is in the shadows. And then his arms right there. Those are his shoulders. And then we're just not seeing his arms because they're at the side, right? And then right there, he's got really two skinny, tiny, skinny legs right there. You see that? It's really strange. Yeah, it's really strange stuff. You can see, you can even get a better view from there where, okay. That's what they were doing in the Delphi case. Stuff like that. Yeah. Look how many pins that is all around from different things. You know, we got to do some stuff somewhere else, like maybe a case over in Canada. I don't know if they cover them the same though, if there's as many pictures. But you know, Canada, maybe the UK, something. I think I do have a couple pins over there somewhere. Yeah, I just lost my bearings on the. Yeah, so it looks like I did a couple things there. It's weird. I don't think when I think about it, I don't ever think that Europe is so far up there after you go across like that. Huh. It must be a flat Earth. There could be, maybe it's all, that isn't really a compound. It's all a ruse. Underneath that plastic is an alien spacecraft. It's weird. So Africa is just a straight shot across. And this used to be connected. And during the Pangea days, you can see how Africa fits right in over here. And then this right there fits right into there. This goes right there. One of the coolest places on Earth is Australia, Right there. Because this thing's separated from all this stuff way before, like Pangea. Like Australia was almost first. Every single mammal had a pouch. It's like, wow, but they didn't live anywhere else. And do you guys remember have you ever heard of the Tasmanian tiger? Or the thylacine, I think it's called. They lived on Tasmania. Apparently, some people say they still exist, but... and there's some things that look like they may have gotten a sighting. Yeah, there's Tasmania right there. I don't think I could eat a kangaroo, okay? No, really, Gray, the meat's delicious. Yeah, I'm still not eating one, thank you. Now, don't get me wrong, if I was dying of... I had to eat something, sure. I mean... Hell, I think, if I was really hungry, blue might even taste pretty good, you know what I'm saying? That's a joke, everybody. Oh, here we go. How can you even joke about something like that? Yeah, see, I bet that really was...
This particular video that was...
They both had stripes.
See, that's probably it.
And what I saw was a dead wallaby on the side of the road.
Dog, I think you can quite confidently say this is not a dog in this video. You get sightings through Adrian and Tam from time...
Yeah. So here's the last video. See that? Isn't that kind of sad right here? This is like one of the last shots of this one creature that used to be a living, see? It was like, it had this huge jaw that opens up, but it's called like the Tasmanian tiger thylacine. It's pretty weird looking though, look at that. I think this was like 1930 something. Can't remember. Yeah. Yeah, just pretty weird looking, huh? Yeah, I don't think I could eat blue even if I was hungry. Like if I was starving to death. You know that? You guys ever watch that show, the A Lie, or what's that thing where the let's see, where was that? In the Andes when that plane crashed. And those people started eating some of the dead bodies to stay alive for a while. And they were getting so much flack from it, and then the church actually came forward and absolved them. And then everybody accepted them again after that. Yeah, alive. Yeah, that's a true story, too. See, it must be really weird to get to that point, you know? To have to make a decision like that. Well, hey, Willie, I actually think that the reason the press conference is being moved back to Friday is an attempt to make it die down a little bit. But see, I don't know if that's smart by law enforcement to make it die down. I think you'd want to keep it going regardless of the wild crap that people say. You know? But the thing is, every time they have a press conference, everybody gets geared up. And then we hear the same thing over and over again. You know, like my comedic things. So, sir, now the Fitbit, were you able to get anything from that? Sorry, we're not able to answer that question at this time. Okay, well, surely you can let us know if she made it home after her jog. Sorry, we're unable to answer that question at this time. When do you believe she went missing, sir? We believe she went missing sometime after 7:30. Thank you very much. Now, we've heard, sir, that there's been a red shirt that's missing. Can you tell us about that? We are unaware of the red shirt. Well, that's weird because it's been in the news, sir. The mother said that it was missing. Can you verify that? We are unable to verify that at this time. Okay, so are you saying that there aren't red shirts missing? We're just simply not able to verify that. Well, the mother just came out and said that they found 2 of the red shirts and that she possibly has a 3rd red shirt that she didn't know about. Is that true, sir? We are unaware of the red shirts at this time. Okay. All right. So early on, people said that they were jogging around 5:30. Is that true? We have no information about them jogging at 5:30. Do you know why she was dropped out, or how she was planning on going to work the following day, sir? Her father said on that live, if this is something that, by the way, everybody, if you watch that video from earlier, the father said she doesn't even know how to drive. Now, was he just talking about like she's a crappy driver? Or she literally can't drive? I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but he did say that. So does that mean that, like, oh man, she can't even drive? Like I might say that about my wife, right? She's getting she's a lot better now. But when she started driving, you know when you change lanes? So let's say you're going to change lanes to your right. She'd look over her left shoulder. I was like, oh my God. She doesn't do that anymore, but my God, that was crazy. So maybe that's what he's referring to. But if you go watch that press conference again, he literally said she doesn't know how to drive. Right. So, sir, can you verify that your team has even worked on the case? We are unable to verify that at this time. Can you give us any sort of insight into this case whatsoever as to where Mollie might be or when she went missing or anything? No, we cannot. Then why are we having this press conference, sir? Well, that's easy. We're trying to appease the masses and make it seem like we're actually doing something. Well, here's the thing. I'll be honest with everybody. They are doing a shitload. I guarantee it. But what sucks is don't pretend that you're going to have a press conference and then not say anything. All right? It doesn't do anything. It's just sort of like you're checking in. So I think that's why they're sort of putting them off further now, because they're not really saying anything new. Now, if something breaks, they'll probably, if they call a press conference before Friday, then something broke. Something came in. That's right, Vic. They're still trying to get to know Mollie. Now, apparently, they think maybe she ran away at this point. That's what the father's saying. Did you guys hear what I was saying, though, about the drive? Maybe we should try listening to that again. Hold on. And by the way, I'm going to go turn on my air conditioning. And the air traffic control. Yeah, flight 727. Yeah, runway 325 is ready to go. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, one of these nights we got to do a live on the Lumberton case, because it seems like there's more people watching, and they don't have a clue about it. And that one, you know, that might break something if somebody could actually, might know something in that area. Let's see.
This is around the country.
So let's see.
Okay.
The Fitbit. The Fitbit is missing.
No, it's called a.
Well, we know.
Wow,
that
it sounds a little bit like that truck driving.
Fitbit, and she always had her phone, which is not unusual for a 20-year-old. And as far as we know, they are missing, and that's why this digital platform is so key to finding her. It's every bit as important as people turning over tips.
Her earphones, are they with her, or are they missing too, or we don't know?
Well, we don't know where they are. They're
I don't get it, Rochelle. So I don't get it, man.
But it wouldn't have been unusual for her to have those with her.
And her wallet was left at the house?
I don't know for certain.
God, it was 80 degrees in my living room just now. I looked. Oh,
one of the producers in New York is just asking, do we know who was last to see her? Their understanding is that she was last seen at 7:30 p.m. on the 18th.
That's kind of a funny question. Do you know who the last person to see her was? No, and if we did, we would have caught the guy.
I would assume jogging, but do we know who was last to spot her? Was it just people driving through the neighborhood who saw her running? I think there's
my understanding was that there was someone who reported having seen her running on the streets, and so that wouldn't have been unusual. And if they asked for information, people would have called in and said, yeah, okay, we saw her. And she ran every night at about that time, so that isn't unusual.
Right.
I think in trying to pin down a timeline, and the authorities are confident in a timeline.
Yeah, I think he made that comment when she said she wasn't
but
special.
The last that we know that I can share with
I don't know when that was
you is that she arrived at the house about 5:30 and then was jogging at about 7:30.
Got it. Okay, that sounds like what I.
Look at that! Look at that fly.
And if they asked for information, people would have called in and said, "Yeah, okay, we saw her." And she ran every night at about that time, so that isn't unusual.
Right.
I think
this is all a what do you call it? Psyops right here. This isn't even real.
Been trying to pin down a timeline, and the authorities are.
You guys ever watch the show Humans?
Confident in a timeline. They're not sharing why, but the last that we know that I can share with.
See that fly that's on his face? It appears to be going on a flat plane, okay?
View is that she
Look at that.
arrived at the house about 5:30 and then was jogging at about 7:30.
See right there? Look at that. Look at it. It's just...
Okay, that sounds
I'm
like
kidding.
what my understanding was as well.
You know, some people probably take that and make a video. Look! Yeah, crisis actor, yeah.
The longer we go without finding
Maybe it's over here.
Find your daughter. What does that mean to you and your family?
Come on, fly, get off of there. Get off of there. Come on.
I don't know, it's comforting. It's hard to say. I know that it's not because they know Mollie personally, but I think what they see in Mollie is, you know, like I've said, we think Mollie's extraordinary, but we know she's not.
No, but wait, we're at that we're at the spot now. Okay, but listen, all crisis actors are calm now, Marissa. They're just acting. They're just like the ones that are dead on the ground. They're pretty calm. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I was chasing the fly, Jim, with the cursor.
We know that everybody thinks their daughter or their
The
girlfriend
Jim
is
Trick.
extraordinary.
You should change
And
your
they're
last name
probably
to
not.
Trick.
They're just
That'd be
good
pretty
people.
funny.
And Mollie's just a good kid.
Okay, I think it's
She's
right
just-
here.
She works hard, she's smart, but her room's a mess and she can't drive. And so
Her room's a mess and she can't drive. So what do you think that means right there? When he says she can't drive, does that literally mean she can't drive, or she just sucks at driving? That kind of thing. What do you think? Yeah, we got it already, buddy. We know where the compound is. We found it. Yeah, Vic sent me a link, and now I can't remember the lady's name who sent me the link. Kay, I think, sent it to me. So which one do you guys think there? All right? You think it just means she sucks at driving?
personally, but I think what they see in Mollie is, you know, like I've said, we think Mollie's extraordinary, but we know she's not. We know that everybody thinks their daughter or their girlfriend is extraordinary, and they're probably not. They're just good people. And Mollie's just a good kid. She works hard, she's smart, but her room's a mess and she can't drive. And so I think...
I mean, they say that they share the car, right? They say they share a car. So you think it means that she sucks? Okay. I mean, I can buy that because it doesn't fit in with the rest of it, but, you know, it sort of fits, like what Vic's saying, it fits with her room's a mess and she can't drive. She's not a very good driver. You know, like the room is sort of an analogy to the driving. You know, she's not good at taking care of her room. She's not good at driving. She's not good, you know. But see how there's always something like that that sort of ruins. You can't pin something down. Hey, Scuffed ASMR. There's this lady that does crime videos with that. I don't know if that's what. Maybe I've got the wrong acronym. But she talks really quiet. She's like, okay, he came into the room, and then she went there, and you know, wasn't feeling that good. She's supposed to be picked up at 7:30. I mean, it's crazy. That person has something like 500,000 subscribers too. Yeah, but if you're doing a true crime video, why would you want to have that voice like that? I think it would make you fall asleep. What is he telling us, Allison? Nah, he's not saying that at all. Yeah, he definitely needs a fly swatter, I'll tell you that.
Everybody sees their own daughter, their own girlfriend, their own sister in Mollie, and they just can't imagine what she's going through.
Yeah, I think if he said she can't even drive, that might have made more sense to the she can't actually literally drive. But he just said she can't drive.
And I think they just, like we do and you do, want to see her come home, just see an end to this and get her back to school.
Right, it hits close to home for everybody. Anybody have any other questions?
Is her Fitbit missing?
Yes, we can only speculate, I guess, if you put it that way, that she had her Fitbit and her phone with her. Oh.
The Fitbit.
We do know that.
Yeah, so this is probably.
We don't know that she had.
So I think this is like a scheduled interview where I don't think Fox News is the one that scheduled this one. Whoever he's looking right at when he's talking is the one that scheduled it, but they're allowing other people to ask questions, and they're like, "Hey, look into our camera. We're, you know."
Her fit. Okay.
Yeah, we'll take it there.
It was a good idea.
Well, it's a great shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It was big cooperated for a while.
See, this little portion right here, I knew this is what I was saying to you guys earlier. That portion right there is where all the conspiracy whack jobs are going to come in and go, did you notice how he changed his demeanor right when he thought that, you know, the cameras, the cameras are still rolling. He knew that. It was just, thought it was a moment of levity when the truck came by and ruined the shot. But I'll bet you $1,000 that you're going to see some nut job come up with a video like that. Yes, he's got to be a crisis actor.
It is nice up.
Oh yeah, by the way, hey everybody, I was wrong. Okay, that was a black minivan, not an SUV. All right, although I can see somebody calling it one if they saw it in the dark. All right. I mean, I had like 8 people say, "Oh my God, that's actually a minivan." You know, like they get all indignant about it. Like all of a sudden, and also here's another thing too. It turns out that the van driving around in the town of Brooklyn was actually somebody driving around making sure people weren't vandalizing, right? So that has nothing to do with anything. But at the time, see, that's the problem. I've never seen a case with such poor reporting in my life. See, people like us, we can only rely on news articles. There was 3 or 4 articles that literally said something about there was a van, seen driving around at night, and it turns out that van was just some guy in town making sure there was no vandals. I thought the 11:30 time was kind of weird too. It didn't really fit the rest of the story. But at the time when that was reported, and it seemed like a nefarious thing, and then you have this other black sort of van looking SUV type thing, it seemed like, well, gosh, maybe they were related somehow, because the other guy tried to kidnap somebody. I don't know. A lot of strangeness in this one. Yeah, I've been trying to get updates on the Beaver County and for the Rachel Del Tondo case, but I'm not getting much out of that. They're not really doing anything new. Try to Robert have seen the Reddit cops. Yeah, a lot of people tell me to go check out Reddit. Like if I am slow on the show, open up Reddit. And I'm thinking, God, I don't know, man. Reddit doesn't have any better thinking than any of us do. You know, But when I go on there, it's just like Web Sleuth is the same. They have the same wacko theories, and then there's people that think reasonably on there. All right, so that's it. Yeah, they're not better, or somehow they're inherently better than everybody else. Like Web Sleuths, my God, you go on there, and it's like a Facebook group, but harder to follow around. I mean, people make ludicrous comments on there. But they're all good, though. I mean, like, there are people on there that say good things and do good research, and that's what's valuable about them. But you have to wade through a mountain of nonsense. The post after post of what if. Oh, you're going to bed? Hey, good night, Jim. I expect to see Jim Trick the next time you come on. Anyways, hey, sleep well. Some respect for web sleuths or what? I think there's just good people on all of them. Oh, that's right. I better get off of here. Anyways, this is about quitting time for me, to be honest with you. Most of the time we're hanging out on here, we're just hanging out because it seems like we're all friends now, I mean, I sort of, when I don't do a live, I miss coming on and, talking, trying to figure things out. But, we did find out the location of the compound in New Mexico, and we went over the press conference a couple times, right, and found out that we're no closer to any new information than we ever were. As a matter of fact, we're more confused now. Maybe Tasmania will be the fly spot this time. All right, so I'm going to call it at night, and then I'm going to do the Furious Freaks for us freaks. Of course, I got to turn up the volume here. All right, here we go. Let me do the full screen one now. I like that one better. There we go. Boom. Well, you guys ready? Here we go. Hey Vic, thanks for all the map help, and K2, thank you. Hey, that kind of reminded me for a minute when we were looking for that one trucker. You remember the trucker that went missing in Oregon? That was actually kind of fun doing that one too. Wait, I thought they said the Earth was flat. Woo! Hey everybody, thanks for showing up tonight. I know it was a little bit longer than usual with not a lot of info coming in, but it was fun hanging out, and we did figure out a couple things there, and we're still just as confused as ever in the Mollie Tibbetts case. All right, but hey, appreciate everybody showing up, and guess what the next line is? Oh yeah, I'll do the coffee. Thank you, Raven. Do the coffee right now. But here we go. Until next time, everybody, be safe out there.